Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to the Core Racing Network live coverage here of the 191 MotorSports. Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to 2026, and welcome to another broadcast here on SEER. And as we get ready for the 2026 season for all of the leagues that we cover here, we're going to start out right here at the last great Coliseum. Bristol Motor Speedway is going to play host here tonight for 191 as they get back out here rolling out. It looks like about close to 20 cars out here in the field, ready to rumble and ready to make their claim to be the first winner here in 2026. Carl, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, welcome back, buddy. It feels like I haven't talked to you in ages.
Yeah, like a whole year. I mean, literally, it's been forever. I mean, you know, we get out here, like we were just talking earlier, we're out here pretty much, it seems like every day. We get a small break, you know, Friday, Saturday, or whatever. And, you know, we take a couple weeks off, and yeah, I know it's just like a week and a half or so, but it does feel like a whole year. It's been a long time, so hopefully everything's looking good. Everything's sounding good here. Good to see everybody out there. See 14 people currently watching at the moment, so just welcome all the fans. Welcome back here to a nice, brand new, shiny year of 2026. DJ Mike, Martha Mew, Mikey, and Twisted Gaming out there, Brendan Garner out there as well. So, and Renee. So just a shout out to everybody for coming back here. We are going to be 150 laps here at Bristol. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, just to give you a kind of an update and a rundown of what we've seen so far here for the Gen 6 series for 191. This is, come on. It will work here for me. This is a good portion of the way through the schedule here so far. Levi Poland is your points leader as he comes in here with a mere 7-point lead over Michael Casey. Matthew Jordan is another 27 points back. And then you got Billy Rickett, Justin Spengler for your top 5 in the points. Travis Noble, Bradley Worley, Douglas Ivey, Daniel Pinkson, and J. Scott Henderson are your top 10 in the points. But we're going to bring one of those drivers that's in the top 10 in the points in here for a little chat with us, as I just want to make sure he is done with qualifying, and I believe he is. Yeah, he is. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the driver here of the 88, Bradley Worley. Bradley, welcome here back to the booth. Our first pre-race interview here for 2026.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So coming back here to action, and I know you guys had, you know, obviously your little break here, but you come back here, and I mean, gloves are off, the pads are on here. You're ready to do battle here at the last great Coliseum here at Bristol.
Oh yeah. Glad to be back racing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's it feel to be back here? I mean, are you ready to go? I know you're back there in 10th place right now in the qualifying. Bristol can get a little hairy, little rough around the edges here. What do you think is going to be in store for us here tonight?
Hopefully a few cautions. I think that'll help us all out. Definitely gonna need tires. They're chewing them up pretty good out there.
How's the car feeling out there? Does it feel like it, you know, could be multi-groove track? Is it just kind of bottom dependent like a lot of times Bristol can be?
It's gonna be bottom for sure.
All right, so we may see the chrome bumper get used a little bit here to get some passes done.
Yeah.
Well, either way, we want to wish you good luck here for tonight and for the rest of the season here in 2026. But before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to you guys for broadcasting, all the guys at 191, and then my friends and family watching and supporting me every week.
All right, buddy. Well, wish you luck out there, and we'll get you back up to your race channel. And if we get some of those cautions, maybe we'll get a chance to bring you up here. Hopefully, you're not involved in them. And
I hope I'm not.
All right, buddy. That is the driver of the 88, Bradley Worley, as he is ready to get this thing back underway. And you know, we see so many times, you know, a new season starts, Jimmy. We a lot of times obviously start at Daytona. It's a place where the season starts for NASCAR. Obviously, there for pretty much all the series, and it's one where you kind of you like that. There's a lot of drivers that like like the super speedways. It gives them a chance to get up there and maybe get a great result. But then you got a lot that are kind of maybe wincing a little bit, knowing what can happen. Bristol here, it's definitely a driver's track, but it's kind of another one with just on the opposite end of the spectrum. You got to survive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a super fan of shorter tracks, but you know, and that's not unknown by anybody out there that watches CRN. But Bristol was actually the first track that I got a win at iRacing. So it has like a special place, but it has that high banking, and everything comes up so fast in these corners. It's almost like a super speedway. A small incident can turn into a major accident. It's only taking these drivers, less like 15-20 seconds to get around here a lap. It really can be a cluster. And then, top it off, then, obviously you got your pit stops. Is everybody going to be in the same, on the front stretch, or is there going to be people on the back stretch? Only 19 cars out here, so everybody should be on the front stretch. But I didn't look at the rules, so where are they coming in the pits? Are they coming in off of 3? Are they coming in off of 2, whatever it may be, so they have to go around? You can go laps down if you decide to pit early. And then you're relying on everybody out there to stay, to keep it clean and green. Why everybody else has to come in. So I can see drivers trying to hold out to the last moment to come in, even though them tires are going. You heard Bradley talk about tires and how much they're going to be a big player. They are huge here at Bristol. And when you get a fresh set, we're talking not half a tenth faster a lap. We're talking like maybe even up to 2 seconds a lap faster. So short pits are going to be a thing, but it really depends on all these 20 drivers being able to run out here. I think we're going to get a close look on where everybody stands, but it looks like they are done and getting ready to go.
Yeah, and it is dual pit lane here tonight, and with only 19 cars out there, everybody should be on that front stretch. Everybody should be coming in off of turn number 4 there and coming onto that front stretch. But Jimmy, while we got a chance, I believe we got 2 pace laps here at Bristol. Why don't you give us a quick rundown of the 19 cars out here tonight?
Well, this is a very short list compared to what we had at the CRN Cup. So
16. Read it 3 times. Let's go.
We got Billy Rickett on the pole here tonight in the number 7 with Levi Pullen on the outside. Michael Casey and Dale Garner Jr. make up row number 2. Jason Crispin, Douglas Ivey for row number 3. Paul Helms and Travis Noble for row number 4. Row number 5, Zane Bierman with Bradley Worley. Row number 6, Tony Brennan with Scott Henderson. Richard Hartman and Chris Perry make up row number 7. Row number 8, Matthew Radford with Matthew Jordan. And then Justin Spengler or Ronald Breland out there for road number 9. And then you have one more Wade Inyart bringing up the back of the pack. But getting ready to go green here as these drivers make their way around and clear everything up for everybody. And it does look like they are taking that second lap. So I made it before they crossed the start-finish line. But yeah.
Take a breath. Take a breath. Have a drink, have a smoke, and we'll get this thing underway here.
I'm done. That's too much work in a year, man.
Well, I mean, it puts a lot under pressure here for me. I know it's not 60 like you said from the CRN Cup, but you haven't been talking in that long, so you have to get your maybe not your C legs, but you get your C voice back here. But either way, we're gonna get this thing underway. Hopefully, these drivers can keep it a little clean, get some green flag laps in here. 150 laps on tap here tonight. Pace car is in. Billy Rickett. Man, can 2026 deliver for him? He's been up there so many times in 2025, still waiting to break through. Maybe 2026, maybe a new year, new me kind of situation here for the 7 as we are underway here at Bristol.
Yeah, and you're going to see some of the drivers kind of really attack. And, they talked about, the bottom maybe being the place to be. But early on with some great tires, that outside and even the inside line can be performed just as well. It's just which lane's going to be better on the tires. But right now, neck and neck up front between Levi Pullen and Billy Rickett. Rickett trying to lead these laps, but Pullen using that outside momentum as he keeps them down. But it does look like we're going to have an incident. It does look like Jason Crispin is going to take a ride here as we get our first caution.
Oh, and a heavy impact there towards the back of some of these cars. I mean, not realizing the yellow came out, not slowing up, and we got a lot more involved than probably should have been. Some heavy impact there as Jason Crispin goes for a bit of a ride and certainly shook up that cherry vanilla Coke on the number 98 right there, as he's going to have towing back to pits as that thing was destroyed. But we'll go back and take a look here and see what happened here. Billy Rickett almost had a moment as we were watching that, but behind him is where all the action happened.
Yeah, just back here with Jason Crispin up on that outside. The car's down the inside, but you can see the rear end kind of starting to break there on the 98, and that's where he's going to lose it. So he's going to end up coming down in 31, catching him there. Going to spin him back around up into the wall. So that's going to save some of the drivers back here, but hard hit here. But the 55 not making it through, and then the 88 of Bradley Worley getting kind of in it just a little bit, just slight tags, pretty light here, but it kind of consists as the field's still coming around. 11 nowhere really kind of to go, gives the 98 a shot. Hartman coming in here with a 52, and you're trying to make it by. 28 sliding to a stop, trying to get by. I think he just
maybe a little neck-out smooch, a little neck-out smooch on the side there.
And that's about as close as you get to stopping these things. But yeah, some big wreckage there, especially on the 98 and the 11, and a few other drivers obviously going to get this thing's picked back up and again. But to see the 98 down there right now, probably had to tow. Going to go many laps down here early on, and it's going to be rough. But it does look like Levi Poland is going to sneak out here with the lead here over Billy Rickett in P number 2, then Michael Casey, Dale Garner Jr., Douglas Ivey for your top 10. And I do promise I will get back to the field here, folks, but I would see the laps to go by quickly, and and then something happens. You don't get quite a chance to see what everybody's doing when the incident happens up front.
Yeah, and Rickett almost had an incident right when the caution came out. He got a little bit loose trying to hold onto that bottom and trying to fight with Levi Poland. Poland now is going to have that spot at the front, and pace car lights should be out. We're going to double him up here this time by and get him back to racing. But Chrisman did have to tow to pit lane, still waiting for the tow and the fast repair to be completed down there. Hopefully he did have the fast repair checked and he can get that thing fixed and back out there. He's going to be several laps down, as mentioned, but this is a track, and it almost kind of reminds me of how much we talk in CSRL about the fact that if you have an incident on lap 1, it doesn't necessarily kill you because you can fill up your tank and go the rest of the way and maybe pick up some positions that way. Here at Bristol, you're expecting to probably get a few laps back, especially if you're the only car a lap down. And you can consistently get lucky dog after lucky dog if we get multiple cautions. But if they string this thing out and get some green flag racing, as we're back to the green right now, that's where could put Chrisman really behind the 8 ball, as Levi Poland now leads the way. We see Billy Rickett can hang on to second place on the outside, but already Michael Casey making the move to there, and the 31 almost saved it. Had about 2/3 of a corner to try and get around. It looked like Bierman tags him pretty hard right there as well. And Bierman, heavy damage. He was involved in the last incident. Not sure if he used a fast repair then. He's going to need one this time because that wheel on the front left for Bierman is definitely jacked up. Not sure if he tried to go in the pits there or not, but he's going to bring it back on the track. Looks like Chris Perry might have been involved in this one as well. But it all started with the 31 of Dale Garner just fighting it all the way through the corner until he finally lost it.
Yeah, and where is he? Yeah, there he is. Just doing some drifting, some dirt racing. Kind of reminds me of what I'm going to be doing here later this evening. But not able to catch up with the 64. Not able to slow up enough, so sends 31 around in a circle, but doing a pretty decent job of holding it up there. But everybody's kind of coming down. 34 is going to go high. Bierman really last minute decisions to go high, just not quite soon enough. Tags Garner kind of out of the way for the rest of the gang. But some of the other drivers kind of squeaking by there later on. You see the 98 seeing that incident, and I'm glad he's not involved in that one. But another rough break there for the 31. Just losing it. Just drivers trying to get down in there and make what they can out of it here. We're gonna say everybody is well, they has Garner one lap down. So Chrisman should get. I think he was able to get one lap back that last time. So with the amount of incidents that could happen here tonight, he possibly can get back in the lead lap. We'll see if we can see that number 98 to work his way back on a lead lap. Just has to kind of keep it clean to stay out of trouble here tonight. But Levi Poland still up in the lead here in the number 91 Country Time Machine over Michael Casey. Billy Rickett drops to third, and Douglas Ivey, new paint scheme, I believe, for Douglas in the Monster 33. Got the Monster and looks like a little bit of red, white, and blue in there all tore up.
Yeah, and again, this is 150 laps long. You definitely need to have some patience here. And really, the biggest place where you can easily have patience is when that yellow comes out. I know you're trying to get through, and you figure, okay, there's a couple cars that are wrecked. Maybe I can keep at the pace here. I can pick up a couple of spots for free. more often than not, you end up hurting yourself, if not hurting quite a few others as well. It's best when that caution comes out, slow up, try and figure out where the caution is, and be ready to make a move. But if you're still traveling at race pace, or even only 20-30 miles an hour under race pace, you're not going to be able to make that split-second decision. And I mean, for the 31 there of Dale Garner Jr., he was sitting still for a little bit. Granted, it was right in the middle of the track, but it had the rest of the cars been slowing up a little bit more, maybe there's more time to make that move and not get involved with the incident. But it's not that easy, kind of in the heat of the moment. But you have to think, if that caution comes out, you really do need to heed the warning and slow down and hopefully avoid it. But we're going to get back to green here. Levi Poland back on the loud pedal. Billy Rickett now back to the bottom. Hopefully this time he can find his way back at least a second. Michael Casey is going to battle him here on the high side and take over second place. Once again, now the 33 of Douglas Ivey to the high side. But how about our man that we talked to before the race, Bradley Worley, up now into the top 5.
Yeah, just got to keep the pace, a steady pace. And right now, obviously the bottom line seems to be the place to be. Is it going to be the place to be towards the end? Can you hold it down there on that yellow line? How much patience, you have to let these cars just kind of work, work for them. Not a lot of times it's not just mashing the pedal to the ground, and that's what can get the rear end loose, mid corner. If you don't let that car settle and get going, and it's a lot of throttle management coming, working your way through the corner and exiting the corner. But the drivers right now seem to starting to get it together here now. Just things are quick, so it's like the decision to go left, go right, stay high, stay low. Each corner, can I go up? Can I drift up because I want to, change my entry to the next corner? Split second decisions. You see, Zane Bierman was getting a little friendly with the wall up there just a little bit as 23 Scrucky Jordan makes his way by for Pete, number 13. So Jordan making his way up slowly. Biggest mover of the race so far is going to be Ronald Greenland in that number 77. So making his way up 8 spots, so taking advantage of the incidents and whatever may happen on the track. But Levi Poland is really good.
Picking up 2026 where we left off in 25 and trying to get himself his 4th win on the season. He does have the most wins on the season coming in here to tonight's race, as he has, as mentioned, 3 on the season. Michael Casey, Matthew T. Jordan, both with 2 wins. And then you got Nolan Potter and Jason Chrisman with single wins, as well as Roger Saucier with a win as well. So looking to extend his points lead, looking to extend his lead with as more wins than anybody else as well, leading the way right now. But good to see the field kind of stretching out here a little bit, get these tires warmed up, get them stuck into the track a little bit, and maybe even a warning from some of the admins out there, as we don't have Daniel Pinkston out there in the race with us because he is back in the admin booth. He is going to be the man behind the curtains here once again, and going to help admin the boys here at 191. Good to see that 97 back out there still with a broken spec map, just that faded ally. It's, what, sometimes it's one little thing about a paint scheme that sticks out. This is certainly a very known paint scheme from the Jimmy Johnson days, but the fact that it's just faded, it's no longer Jimmy Johnson paint scheme. It is definitely a
Florida Sun. It has Florida Sun.
Yeah, it's a little faded. It's a Matthew Radford paint scheme for sure. We're back under yellow here, and we'll take a look through and see. I believe this might be, this is the comp caution. Speaking of the race admin there with Daniel Pinkston, this is going to be our comp caution here for the night. We'll see probably majority of the field come in at the very least to top off on fuel and maybe even take their first set of tires.
Yeah, I think they're going to come down and take their first set of tires. Still going to have a good 120 laps remaining. So this race just starting here, and already had some pretty decent size incidents for some of these drivers. So this is going to group them up again. And maybe they've learned from the initial couple starts there on how they need to kind of react and get things going. Obviously, got some of the leaders up there, Poland and Levi Rickett and Levi Rickett. Billy Rickett. Wow.
At this point, I'm sure Billy probably wouldn't mind me going
Levi,
to my record. Maybe
I mean, just
at least
got
get the taste of a win.
right. But some, obviously you get some people out there, whether they decide to come in or not as well too. So, not, always the best choice. To see Ronald Breland was in there on lap number 5. So, I don't think they have tire limitations here. So I don't know. There's maybe Ronald Breland wants to give a couple laps left. Same thing with Chris Perry. But you got to be careful with these tracks here where tires are such a big ordeal. And you're only looking at like 20 laps. Well, 20 laps at Bristol tires is a massive difference. So all the drivers out here are going to have to be very self-aware of those two drivers up front that are on older tires, because they're going to be a lot slower. The closing rate going into the corner, their braking points, all that stuff's different, and it changes from lap to lap here at Bristol because of how fast the tire wear does go away. But we're going to be lining back up too wide here. It's going to be Ronald Breland out front here to start this thing off in number 11. So biggest movers of the race on the oldest tires. Good luck, gentlemen, and good luck, field, as you have to make your way by them.
Yeah, now we're going to have to double up here. I'm wondering what's going on here. It looks like now they finally are going to double up here. There is a tire limit for these drivers. They only have 5 sets of tires for the race and 2 faster pairs. The 2 faster pairs may be the bigger part of it for some of the wrecks that we've seen here tonight. But we're going to get this thing back going. And for Renee out there, hopefully the Henderson in the race. I don't know. It depends on which Billy Ray Cyrus we're talking about out there. Hopefully he's not worried about his achy breaky heart after this race. Maybe a little more Miley Cyrus and having a party in the USA. But we're back to racing here, and got some bump drafting in the corners, whether they like it or not, and now got some incidents, and it looks like Bradley Worley, I believe, got sent down into the inside wall. But that was just, I don't know if it was a missed shift or what the case was here at the front, but it was definitely an accordion that started this thing.
It was on number 30. I didn't say 30. Some of those cars with the slower tires here, but we'll go back here and take a look. But happened up here with a 34 on the outside. Obviously not as fast as Billy Rickett, closing in there. Bradley Worley, obviously, trying to keep that pace go here. So it just starts with the 7 slowing up, then the 88, then the 70, and it kind of works its way around. Worley still trying to take that momentum, and right here, it looks like the rear end's starting to go on the 88, and the 88's going to come down across the track, and that's going to send him down to the wall and around. But I think that's about
and right in front of the 55 as well. I think the 55 has run out of brown pants, let alone faster pairs here tonight. But luckily, he doesn't get caught up in this one here. But going to bring us under another caution right after the comp caution here, and give the drivers a chance to settle down here. Hopefully, once again. Bristol is tough. It's a short track, and it's high banking, so it's high speed short track, which can be very fun, can be very entertaining, but it can be very treacherous as well, especially on these cold tires. And used tires here, maybe for the 34, is what kind of checked the field up here a little bit. It was a little bit slow there on the outside. We'll see how the restart goes this time. It's still Ronald Breland in the lead, as he did pit on lap number 5, and I believe took tires already. So maybe mistakenly taking an early set of tires. So maybe not 30 lap old tires at this point, but it's certainly not the fresh ones that the drivers behind him have.
Yeah, and during I just see what you're saying that during this pit that. Henderson is putting in his Billy Ray Cyrus. Hopefully the Billy Ray Cyrus and not the Miley Cyrus, like you were saying, and not coming in like a wrecking ball. But
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Henderson would be more. Yeah, it's definitely it's not the 34's fault per se. It's just the drivers out there need to know that why is the 34 up here? He wasn't running with us up front in the beginning. Why is all of a sudden he's here now? And in my mind, as a driver, if I was on the track, I'd be like, that guy didn't take tires, or he stayed out. And looking at my relative, you have to know that he's going to be slower. So where is that 34 located? And you have to find him in your relative on your screen. And then when you come up on him, you know there's got to be slower. You have to pay attention. Like I said, there's that much of a difference. He's up here on the outside again, still with them older tires. And I would say that it's you know, same thing is going to happen here. A little bit of a slower start from 34, but these drivers going in, they want to get up there. But, oh, you see right there, the 70 trying to get around and ends up cutting down in front of 64. And it ends up causing an incident. So, but the 98 doing a fantastic job bringing that thing to a stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You need to know that it's going to be, you know, a slower car in front of you before you head into the corner, because if you're already heading into the corner and then all of a sudden you realize you're slow, it's already too late, because these cars, they may not look it, but they need as much downforce as any other car to be planted to the track, or it's going to push, or it's going to get loose, and you're not going to be able to control it that quickly, especially with all the other cars around you at that time. And here again, it's a situation where it's not necessarily on the 34, maybe not necessarily on the 70 either, but you need to make that move earlier. I mean, he came all the way down from the top of the top lane all the way down to the bottom, kind of a late move into the corner. And I don't know if, you know, Helm's even seen him coming down there, but they make contact. 34 ends up going around as well. We'll bring it under here. Another caution.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's not on the it's not the 34's fault. It's just that he has older tires, and it's the drivers knowing to know the situation on the track. I mean, it's no other plain simple way to put it. There's nothing saying that, hey, when a caution comes out, you have to go in. I mean, look at the 11 right now, still loving his lead up there, getting good starts, being able to kind of hold off those other drivers. And, you know, what this is doing is kind of evening out the playing field. And the 11's got extra tire, a set of tires in the pack. So, you know, how much longer can he stay out here? We'll find out. I mean, I think that maybe, you know, he's going to go down there when he needs to take fuel. But right now, 11 doing what he needs to do to stay out front. So 11 proving me wrong, 34 proved me right. But you know, it's just a little bit of you know, both. So it's just drivers needing to pay attention. But race is good so far. Ronald Breland is your leader with Levi Poland, Michael Casey in third, Douglas Ivey in fourth, Billy Rickett, Matthew Radford, Zane Bierman, Paul Helms, Tony Brennan, and Matthew Jordan for your top 10.
Get back live here and show you the field as the pace car lights are out here once again, and just waiting for everybody to double back up. Not sure if the 91 got the memo, as he's still down there on the bottom, unless maybe I was gonna say maybe they instituted a choose rule for 2026, and they got to pick what line they want to be in. But now there we go. Now Levi Poland goes to the outside, and I have a feeling, Jimmy, I feel like 91's gonna want to hopefully get a good enough jump here, run that outside, and take away the lead like he did on Billy Rickett here at the beginning of the race, who Rickett now back there in the top 5. But pace car is off. It's back in control here by the 11. He jumps back on the loud pedal. We're back to racing here at Bristol. Hopefully we get a few green flag laps in here, as it's been a little rough here since the comp caution. 34 trying to make his way back up on the track. That got a little hairy. But back to the front is the 91.
Yeah, 91 using that outside, and obviously newer tires able to get around, and then the other drivers trying to maintain a pretty decent pace. The 11 able to at least keep down to the bottom, so the tire's cool enough, but you can see the speed difference. And now the 6 of Michael Casey is going to make sure that the 11 stays high. He's going to use the underside to go around him, but you see the 97 thinking he's going to have a run, but it's going to end up getting trapped as Billy Rickett goes down underneath the number 97. Is going to take him down into the corner. He's going to make that pass. 97 making a bad choice, following the 11 as he is on them old tires, but obviously running side by side. So 11 holding his own right now, Carl.
Yeah, and then the 97 taking advantage there of the 7, having another mistake, another little bobble out of the corner. So now you see Radford getting back into 4th place and going to maybe make another run to 11 here. Gets a run out of the corner and dives down into turn number 1, as I see that we have a crash with Chris Perry, but looks like it's off the track, so we're going to keep this thing rolling here. A meatball there for Chris Perry in the 34, but we're going to keep this thing going. Here's Radford, slides it into the corner there. If you blink, you missed it, but I could see it just as a driver. I could see him sliding into that corner. That's why he didn't get a good run through the corner to pass the 11. They're going to lose a bunch of time right now as Levi Poland and Michael Casey trying to run away with this thing.
Yeah, we'll go back up front and see Levi Poland just in all that clean air. Nothing to really kind of worry about. Maybe enough to maybe throttle back just a little bit, save some of them tires. As Michael Casey still needs to chase him down. Ronald Breland, obviously with older tires, just doing a good job holding up his up the rest of the field here. Just a little bit slower, and you have to make your way around. You have to find the line. Or maybe a little nudge on the bumper to slide them up the track just a little bit, but
too early, Jimmy. Too early.
It's
don't
not
put any
number
bad
4.
thoughts out there.
I mean, if he's in my way, he might get moved just a little bit. I'm just saying.
This conversation never happened. We didn't tell anybody to do that. I'm just gonna put that out there. Well, either way, it's hopefully a good little run for the drivers.
They don't want to cause a caution, but they're thinking it.
Now at least I know what to look forward to tonight. With when we both hop out of the booth for once and we get to racing as the Core Premier Series kicking off tonight. Unfortunately, not going to be broadcasted for this season, but it gives a chance for the broadcasters, me and Jimmy, to get out there on the track and mixed up here once again. And I mean, why not on the first race get a little dirty as we're going a little dirt truck racing with the street stocks at Lanier here tonight. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of bumping and banging, just like we're seeing here at Bristol, but a little less of a chance at a caution on the dirt, as you're expecting some cars to get a little sideways on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go sliding around, and we're going to see how things are. Maybe some POV with some muted mic or something. I don't know. I thought about maybe trying to broadcast the car a little bit, just so fans could kind of see stats or where anybody's racing at. But it's I don't know. It's been a while since I've really kind of been in the car to be like competitive. So yeah, we'll just keep it off the air for now. I don't know. I got off the air, muted mic, no button for push to talk, nothing's like that in iRacing, and probably just be in my own room or something, or not in a room at all on Discord. I really do get competitive out there. I mean, I'd love to go out there and see where everybody's, how everybody's doing, and I'd like to finish well myself. So right now it's Levi Poland still making their way around here tonight. Up front, nice 1 second lead over Michael Casey. Then Billy Rickett again finds himself back there in P3. Ronald Breland, though, hanging in there with them older tires. Now that the tires have kind of leveled out just a little bit, knows something a little bit here, but drivers having a hard time getting by just a little bit, but maybe not able to kind of hold down. But that inside line, they really need to commit down there, and if they can't get that run out of the corner, and it does look like you can't. The 97 wasn't able to quite clear him. Yeah, you have to clear him in order to drift up.
We talked to Bradley Whirling. He mentioned this is a bottom feeding track. You're going to make your pass down there in the bottom, but it's a defending type of track too. If you get pushed up off the bottom, you can defend very, very well from that middle line, from that top line, because you get such good runs off of the corner. And I mean, you're seeing it right here. Bradford is clearly faster than Breland. He cannot complete the pass though, because when he comes off the corner, the car wants to drift up out of the corner. You want to keep that speed to come up out of the corner. He can't do that. He cannot clear the 11 right now, so he's got to keep that thing tucked to the bottom, and he's not getting anywhere close to the run that the 11 is out of the corner. And like you said, Breland doing a top job right now. Rickett in third, trying to run down the top two, but Levi Poland right now and Michael Casey have checked out to about a 3-second lead over Rickett. Another 2 back to this battle that you're watching right here, which looks like Radford finally getting by here. Now Bierman getting along by as well to move himself into the top 5. But good little run here. We're past 60 laps now, let alone now the first 50. We're getting closer to the halfway point here, but I'm not sure what happened there to Breland. And he's going to end up jumping into the pits. So it happened just off the screen for me, so I didn't see what exactly happened.
He just rolled down to the bottom and stopped and towed. I mean, there was nothing, no accident, no nothing. Just kind of went in there after he got past there. After holding off Matthew Radford, and looked like he could have continued his run and maybe thought about a pit stop, but didn't. Decided not to take the pit stop. No, I had no idea. But that's I think that's going to be all of Ronald Breland that we see here for tonight, as he down in the pits, obviously towing 2-minute tow, that's major as far as losing position. So, I mean, he might even give the 34, Chris Perry, a chance to gain a position up in back to the 18th. So, but Levi pulling out front, Michael Casey in second, as now they are starting working on lap traffic. Billy Ricketts sitting in third, Matthew Rafford sits in fourth, Zane Bierman up to fifth, Paul Helms there in sixth, Douglas Ivey back in seventh, Matthew Scrippin-Jordan back there in eighth, Justin Spengler, the number 28. We haven't talked about him much here tonight. Up a few spots here tonight, 8 spots to be exact, sitting in the top 10. And then you have Dale Garner Jr. down a few spots from the start. Got wrapped up early in an incident, but sitting in P number 10. Tony Brennan sitting in 11th. Bradley Worley back in 12th. Richard Hartman doing an okay job here tonight, maintaining his starting position, sitting back in 13th. Scott Henderson back in 14th, down 2 spots. Wade Inyard up a few spots here tonight, and P number 15.
And you take a look back to the 98 of Jason Crispin. It's still down 2 laps, definitely down a lot less laps than what he was on the start of this race, and trying to work his way back up there. But now with the leaders into lap traffic, they're starting to put cars a lap down, and the chance of him getting a lucky dog are kind of out the window. He's going to have to pass quite a few cars to make his way back up there and have a chance at this thing. But we are nearing that halfway point here. Levi Poland leads the way, 1.1 seconds right now, the gap between himself and Mike Casey, who's still, kind of keeping him within check here. But then behind them, it's quite a bit of a gap, 4.6 seconds from the leader all the way back to Billy Ricketts. So about 3.5 seconds in between second and third right now, as these top 2 have clearly checked out. And we've seen this once or twice here with Levi Poland and Mike Casey. There's a reason they're 1-2 in the points.
Yeah, and they continue to chase each other around the track each and every week. And let's take a little ride here on the top of Michael Casey's car as he follows Levi Poland around. You see just working their way around through lap traffic, but you can just see how fast these cars are getting up to here, and a pretty high banking here. I can switch to the gyro cam so you can really get a chance to kind of see that. But they're not out of the woods yet. They might be in the lead, Carl, but they have to make their way through traffic. And as you make your way through through the field, it's being able to pass the slower car, being able to have maybe somebody with a little less talent or somebody that's not able to save their tires as much to not get into you as you make your way around. Or maybe they don't want to go a lap down yet. So, do you want to be the 1 car or do you want to be the 2 car as these drivers make their way around lap traffic, Carl?
We are now officially past the halfway point here of this 150-lap race at Bristol for 191 Motorsports. So we're going to go ahead, step aside here for the first time this year, and give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds here of the 191 Motorsports race here at Bristol Motor Speedway, as we are again the kind of back half of this schedule now, and as we are on race number 11 out of 20. We're going to have next week little throwback action, as we head to Charlotte Motor Speedway for 125 laps under the lights with throwback paint schemes. So certainly looking forward to that one and seeing what these drivers come up with, and but we'll see if that 97 has a correct spec map on it for that one. But either way, I'll take it. He can bring that same car back out. I mean, he's up there. He's in top 5. He broke, don't fix it. But you seeing and watching Levi Poland holding off Billy Rickett for the time being. Can Poland grab his fourth win of the season? Can Rickett finally crack through and get his first? He was the pole sitter here tonight, but Levi Poland started up there on the outside of the front row as well. So obviously both of them have plenty of speed here tonight, but who's going to get it done? Mike Casey's back there in third, Matthew Radford, DJ Garner for your top 5, Zane Bierman, Paul Helms, Matthew Jordan, Justin Spengler, and Brad Worley for your top 10. But we're down now, getting close to 40 laps remaining in this race. Hopefully now, it looks like their field's spread out here nicely. We're still not sure what happened under that last caution, why the last caution even came out. But maybe they got all the butterflies out right now, and we can see a good finish here to the end.
Yeah, I don't know, what happened, like you said, back then. Everybody's kind of spread out right now. The biggest battle right here with Paul Helms and Zane Bierman, with Scruffy Jordan in the back. So this is the battle on the track right now, the closest one. Michael Casey is closing in on Billy Rickett as that battle ensues there for the top 3. But right now, yeah, Levi Poland is your leader over Billy Rickett. And Carl, we haven't talked about it obviously with the cautions coming in and out, but they've been green for quite some time now. When they stopped here on lap 82, was that can they make it the rest of the way, or are they gonna need to have like a green flag pit stop?
Fuel's usually not too bad here at Bristol. You can usually go a pretty long way on fuel, and taking a look at what they normally run here, they got a 5% power reduction, but nothing on the fuel. The fuel is 100% here on the cars, so they should be able to go a pretty decent way. It's still a pretty long way to go, but I wouldn't be surprised drivers trying to stretch this thing out if it's anywhere close to that. But we got a battle now brewing. Looks like for second place, as Mike Casey has caught up to Billy Rickett. Rickett starting to fall off here a little bit, as Poland stretching out his lead to now 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, and that there could just be Mike Casey just kind of saving tires just a little bit, and once you start kind of getting on this run, and they talked about tires, and or somebody were to come in the pits like now, saying that they to make it the rest of the way. Like I said, I don't know if they have enough fuel. They might have enough fuel to make it the rest of the way. So, might not see anybody, but somebody might choose to take tires. If you choose to take tires now, you would see a massive difference in, how fast they're out there. And Carl, to kind of be honest, if, maybe you're, Bierman or Jordan, that thought's got to be crossing through your mind. Can these guys keep it green the whole way? So if I come out on fresh tires, you'll fly through the field and more than likely get your laps back.
Yeah, but the problem is there's not enough time right now to come into the pits, go down several laps, and make all those laps back here to the end. You're gonna need to know that everybody's gonna have to come into the pits at some point or another. If you come in now knowing that everybody's got to pit and take your tires and nobody else takes tires, then yeah, you're definitely in the catbird seat. But the fact that that we're down less than getting down to 30 laps right now left in this race, it's a big gamble to take any kind of tires. I think if anything, you come in and take your splash and go, and then try and take your track position that way, because it's so sketchy coming down here on a green flag run. Regardless of how the race has gone up to this point, they could have went 120 laps green flag up to this point, and it would still scare me coming into the pits knowing that one caution is going to take me, potentially, you can come in as a leader. You can be Levi Poland, come in as a leader and come back out 2 laps down, and all of a sudden the caution comes out. Your race is just about done.
Oh yeah, your race is definitely done. I mean, you're only going to get 1 lap back max, and then you're out there on older tires. So, Yeah, there's all kinds of things that can go through a driver's mind, when these races kind of work their way out. When I won my race here, it was obviously with the ARCA cars, and those races there is no cautions. There's wrecks, believe me, there's wrecks, but there's no cautions. So you just when it was time, you come in, you took the tires, and you just went back out, and you just flew through the field, and you're through the incidents and the accidents, and just work your way back through, and and that was kind of how I won. Was able to. I came down and took tires when nobody else didn't, and yes, I went a lap down. Matter of fact, I was almost 2 laps down, if I'm not mistaken, and was able to drive around the track extremely fast, and and get those positions back, and if I know now what I knew then, I mean, obviously about saving tires back then, I wasn't trying to save tires. I was just turning left and smashing my foot in the floorboard. So,
as opposed to now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different. I at least attempt to try to save tires. Not unlike then, and that was the big thing, especially for. I mean, it gave a lot of success, but it was only a success for like short periods. So if it was a sprint race, yeah, go out there and have at it and burn your tires up. Who cares, right? But if you're out there for these long races like this, 150 laps, and you're out there, these drivers are in here at lap 82. We got 22 laps left, so they're out there already for 40 some laps beating on these tires on this concrete, track. So concrete tracks are never nice to tires. Never, ever, ever, never, ever. They always eat them up extremely fast. And right now, Levi Poland is doing a fantastic job leading the way, almost 2.5 seconds over Michael Casey, unable to kind of make that up there. So depending on how these next 20 laps, it might be. Levi Poland win here tonight. Billy Rickett trying to hold on to P number 3 as Dale Garner Jr. As he had that incident earlier, sitting in P number 4, would love to catch up to Billy and give him a run for his money. You can see a lot of traffic in 3 wide. No, as Garner gets by is Chrisman in the 72 of Scott Henderson. Woo! That was close.
Heck of a save there from the 98 of Jason Chrisman. I mean, he's kind of got nothing to lose at this point, but that was a heck of a save. And he is going to keep this thing green. He's trying to limp that thing, get that thing back up on the track, and he's going to do so. But, man, that was close to say the least. But we're going to keep this thing green. We're down to less than about 20 laps, and that got a little sketchy right there. Just a little bit. With some lap car traffic, but
you want to see new tires right there, Brennan. Tony Brennan's on new tires. This is what it looks like, Carl. You don't tell me tires don't mean anything here at Bristol.
Well, sure, you can have him, but now, unfortunately for Tony, he is back there in 16th position, and right now shown as 4 laps down. So he's obviously quicker than right here, the 7 of Billy Rickett running in 3rd place right now. But you wonder, again, as you mentioned, who can make it to the end. Well, just hold that thought. We got a caution on the speedway.
Oh, wow.
As, again, not sure where this happened here. Take a look and see if we might have something on the track. Maybe driver threw a water bottle out there. Oh, the 34 really slow. And nowhere for the 98 to go.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah, that 98 is unfortunately not exactly had the night that he wanted to have, and he's kind of another one. I mean, Jason Chrisman qualified up there in the top 5 here once again. He's just like Billy Rickett. It seems like he can qualify well. It's just that will the race treat him the way he would like it to be treated, and it is not here tonight once again. And unfortunately, he's in the back half of this field.
Yeah, I'll just kind of give you a lot. I'm going to go full speed here for what Crispin's seeing and how fast things happen. So you see him coming down the. Dang it! No, I'm not. Hold on a second.
That was quick, Jimmy. I mean, I know things are quick in the car, but
fast. Damn. So fast. No, we're gonna go ahead, go back because I would like everybody to kind of see kind of like what he's looking at here, and you know how fast it comes up, and you can see all he sees is the entry of the corner and going forward. The 34 is right there in the corner, so we'll play this full speed and just see how fast this happens here. And he's just kind of coasting through, and you can see he's barely on the screen, and that's Hartford, and he doesn't see what's going on right here. And then the 34, just look how slow he is. Boom. I mean, there's nothing. What do you do?
And it looked like the 34 might have been slowing up to maybe come down into the pits, and unfortunately, I mean, there's nothing that the 98 could do right there. And another incident here involving Jason Chrisman, but we had our pit stops. They're back out there on the track. A lot of drivers have some fresh tires on the cars, but can anybody stop the 91 here tonight? Levi Pullen has led a ton of laps here tonight. He's going to be your leader here on the restart. Michael Casey going to line up in second. Billy Rickett, can he do anything to keep up there with the 91, maybe hold the 6 of Michael Casey to the outside, and maybe force them into a battle that maybe he can sneak into a win here? The 31, Dale Garner Jr., you mentioned, he's certainly had a head scratcher of a night, get involved in the early incident, but he started up in 4th. He's running 4th right now. He's got the top 5 speed here tonight. He wouldn't mind sneaking in here and stealing a win as well. Then Paul Helms, I mean, a heck of a night here for the 64, running right now in the top 5. Justin Spengler on the outside in 6th. You got Matthew Radford, Zane Bierman, Matthew Jordan, and Bradley Worley for your top 10 pace car. Lights are out. It's going to be 10 to go once we get the green.
Yeah, 10 to go, and I think we're going to hop back on top here of number 64 and kind of give you a bird's eye view of how these leaders battle it out here, but they're going to get the under green here as they get on that loud pedal, head down to turn number 1. You see already Michael Casey getting down to that inside in front of Billy Rickett to get his run at Levi Pullen if possible. Only 10 laps to go here. You see the 28 to the Gardner gets a little loose, gets off that apron, kind of slows up the number 28. We'll go back and take a look, but it looks like the 33 gonna have an incident here as Douglas Ivy kisses the wall. Still looks like
keep this thing green as
green.
it keeps it straight, and we're gonna keep this thing going here. But at the front, the 91 leads the way. Levi Pullen, and you see the 7 trying everything he can. One thing we haven't talked about, Jimmy, meatballs. We've certainly seen a few meatballs here tonight, and Douglas Ivy does have a meatball after brushing the wall right there, but it hasn't been predominant like it's been all season here so far. It seems like all season, all we've been talking about is meatball, meatball, meatball over and over and over again. And here tonight, we certainly had plenty of wrecks and deservedly, meatballs for some of the drivers here tonight. But, we've seen Bristol more often than not, cars, slipping up and brushing the wall. And the way the season has gone, any brush of the wall causes a meatball. But here tonight, it's been better for sure. So not sure if some kind of update happened or what the case is. But we got a 3-car battle here for the lead. Levi Pullen is not getting away. 5 laps to go as we cross the line right now and throw a blanket over the top 3. They've checked out here from Dale Garner Jr. and Paul Helms in that top 5. Right now, it's Levi Pullen, Michael Casey, both on the bottom line. The 7 of Billy Rickett trying to get a run on anybody to get himself back up there, trying to get a run on Casey to get in a second, but it's still Poland, Casey, Rickett as we come around, complete another lap. The laps are ticking by very quickly now as back to the line, going to be 3 to go.
Yeah, you see Billy just trying everything, like trying to figure out something to get around the 6. The 6 doesn't quite have the speed for the 91, so no pressure from Michael Casey on Levi Pullen here with only 3 laps to go. But Billy Rickett obviously has some speed, just does not have that line to make it around the 6. So he's got to keep working here. Maybe some lap traffic, but I see the 28 falling backwards as he was running towards the front there, Justin Spengler. But yeah, Levi Pullen looking to walk away with this one as we have on our last lap.
Yeah, white flag in the air. Levi Pullen now stretching out that lead half a second. It's going to take a mistake here in 3 and 4 for anything to happen, but it's not going to happen here tonight. Levi Pullen starts off 2026 exactly where he wants, on the top spot of the podium here. Win number 4 for the country time, number 91. Michael Casey, a very good run here in second place. Billy Rickett is going to have to settle for another podium, another 3rd place here, but not the top spot of the podium, as he's going to come home in 3rd. Dale Garner Jr., a good bounce back after the early incident, going to finish in 4th. Paul Helms, definitely a really good run for the 64. Got to give a shout out to Helms finishing up there in 5th. Zane Bierman, it seemed like he was involved in anything and everything at the beginning of this race. He was involved in some major incidents to the point where I couldn't believe if he had any more fast repairs left, He finishes in 6th. So, I mean, you want to talk about perseverance and fighting their way back through. Definitely a shout out to the 55 of Bierman. Radford going to come home in 7th. Matthew Jordan, Bradley Worley, and Richard Hartman the third for your top 10. Definitely want to send a shout out and a thank you to Kim's Cups and More and One Vision EMS and Transports for sponsorship here of the season. And shout out especially to all the CRN fans. Welcome to the new year, and hopefully enjoy the first race of the year here at 191 Motorsports. If you have, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But we're going to get these top 3 here in for their well-deserved interviews. Jimmy wants to give us a full rundown of tonight's results.
Yeah, quick rundown on tonight's results. Obviously, you've seen Levi Poland get his win here for the first one of the year. Michael Casey finishing in 2nd, and Billy Reckett in 3rd. Dale Garner Jr. obviously coming back from his incident, finishing in 4th. Great job. Paul Helms finishing in 5th, and Zane Bierman in 6th. Matthew Radford in 7th, and the last of the cars on the lead lap, Matthew Jordan. So 8 cars finishing on the lead lap here tonight. And then back with our in-race reporter here, Bradley Worley finishes in 9th. Up a spot from his start. Richard Hartman finishing in 10th, up 3 spots here tonight. Scott Henderson finishes in 11th, so better than when he started as well. Justice Spengler up 5 spots, finishing in 12th. Travis Noble in 13th. Tony Brennan in 14th. Wade Inyart back there in 15th, up 4 spots. So good job there, Wade. Douglas Ivey falls to 16th. Jason Crispin, unfortunate for the 98 tonight. I don't know if it was the Cherry Coke or the only Toyota in the field, but Chris Perry there in 18th, and your other Toyota, Ronald Breland, not quite sure what happened to the 11 as he was up there up front and then had to quickly pull off the track and maybe attend some real life issues. But so congratulations to all the drivers tonight. Welcome to the new year. Great race here tonight at Bristol.
I'll give a sponsor rate here real quick for Kim's Cups and More, as they're your one-stop shop for all your apparel needs. Whether it's a custom 20-ounce tumbler to fill with your favorite post-race beverage, a 40-ounce glitter tumbler for your morning coffee after you were up all night celebrating that win, or custom clothing apparel with your favorite team, sponsor, or maybe your favorite broadcasters.
Wink, wink.
A custom license plate for your everyday ride, even mouse pads to help you rearrange that pesky new UI. You can choose from already created products or have them custom made to your liking, whatever your pleasure. Kim's Cups and More has it all. Check them out on Facebook today. That's Kim's Cups with a K and More. Definitely a shout out from the CRN side, as well as they provided some great looking t-shirts for the CRN Cup, for the Hold Your Brakes Academy, as well. Some good looking shirts for them for one of their races. So definitely thanks to Kim, and a shout out to Wade Enyart out here as well. But time to get our interviews here, and like usual, unfortunately we don't have Billy Rickett. He doesn't like talking to us after a top 3. Maybe
when he
gets a win. Maybe we finally get to talk to him. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with our second place finisher here tonight, and that's gonna be the 6 of Mike Casey. Mike, you start off with a good result here, finishing in 2nd, but I gotta imagine, it's got to start to feel a little like, what do I got to do to beat this 91 and maybe reel some points in?
Yeah, hats off to Levi, and hats off to Billy Rickett. I thought everybody did a good job tonight. It's always good when you can get some long green flag runs at Bristol. But yeah, I tell you what, the 91's been dialed in. I need to get my rear end back in the rig and do some more practice and get back to doing that. But yeah, Levi, man, he's consistent, and he's good just about everywhere we go. So it definitely makes you want to ramp up your own, kind of do a little bit more and get back in the rig a little bit more. So it's going to be fun second half of the season. I mean, we've had some good battles, and it'll be interesting to see how the points shake out at the end of this thing. So.
Well, we know certainly Bristol can eat up tires, and I'm sure on that last run there, a nice little green flag run to finish it out here, I'm sure it was certainly chewing up the tires, but you guys get the later caution there. You're able to get out there with some fresh tires. Did you think maybe with these fresh tires, you can make a quick early move and get yourself to the lead?
Yeah, once we got that late caution, I was like, well, this will be the only chance. Starting on the outside kind of is no good either. I'd rather be on the bottom, especially with the way they've redone the scan on Bristol. Basically, the bottom and that yellow line is like the quickest way around the track. You get up you get up a little bit past that bottom line and it's kind of bumpy and you lose the rear of the car. And if you go up too far, you're getting in the marble. So staying on the bottom was the way to go. But yeah, at the end there, I was giving it all I could. I mean, I was braking super late. I got to his back bumper a little bit coming into 1 and 2. I was a little bit faster in 3 and 4, but he had me in 1 and 2. I got to his back bumper at one point, and I thought about trying to move him up the track a little bit, but I didn't want to do anything dirty or nothing like that. So it is what it is. Levi's, like I said, he had Bristol figured out, and he was the one to catch tonight for sure.
Well, either way, you come on with a runner-up spot here. I guess one more question. If you guys didn't get the caution there, was there any kind of concern about fuel, or were you guys good to go?
No, we were good on fuel. We were running 100% fuel, so I think we had 140 something laps. That's
kind of what I figured. It's a ridiculous amount on full tanks.
Yes.
Let's just get here, Bristol.
And we might, going into the future, because I'm sure we'll come back to Bristol. That might be something we kind of switch up a little bit. Maybe change it to where fuel kind of plays a factor into it, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe try to get some green flag pit stops here. That would be kind of cool to see. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody, man. I really think everybody did a good job. It started out a little rocky, but I mean, we've been out of the sim for a couple weeks. We haven't raced, we've been doing some other stuff, but I know some of these guys haven't touched the track in a while, including myself. I haven't really gotten in the rig and put some practice in. So it started off a little rocky, but I tell you what, we had some good green flag runs, and I thought everybody did a pretty good job tonight. So it was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. I'm sweating again.
As you should be. It's a workout.
It is.
Chasing Levi down here.
Yeah.
But either way, you come home with a second place here tonight. So it's not, I'm sure, what you wanted, but it's damage control. Coming home in second. So congrats on the second place here tonight.
Yeah,
Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, first off, I hope everybody had a good holidays, and it does feel good to get back on the track and be racing with everybody. I missed getting on the track, and it's fun when everybody's busy and we're kicking off the season and doing a bunch of racing. So, but obviously a shout out to you all in the booth 191. Appreciate you guys. So Core Racing Network does a great job broadcasting the shows. And as usual, we enjoy going back and watching it. We appreciate all the fans out there coming back out and hanging out. And like I said, hope everybody had a good holidays, but shout out to Kim's Cups and More over on Facebook. Go check them out and get you guys some 191 merch or whatnot. And then One Vision EMS Transport and Richard Hartman for racing tonight. We found Waldo finally. So it was good having him back on the track. And then, shout out to Daniel going back up in the race control booth and doing that for us. So that was nice having him up there. And as always, he does a great job. But like I said, appreciate that. And that's congrats to Levi and Billy tonight and everybody for a good solid run tonight at Bristol. So you can't ask for much more than that.
Absolutely not. So congrats to you finishing second, and a shout out to certainly all the drivers out there putting on a good show. But we'll let you go celebrate the first podium here of the second half of the season. We'll see if you can hold on to Levi and maybe give him a run by the end of the season.
Yep. Yeah. I'll hold on to him. Trust me.
That is your second place finish here tonight, Mike Casey, and the number 6. We'll bring in our top spot here tonight for the 4th time this season, Jimmy, is going to be the 91 of Levi Poland.
Levi! It's Jimmy Carlton, the booth, Cappy.
Yes, I do, sir. How's it going?
Welcome to the booth for the first time this year and getting another win. But, obviously leading off the charge here early on towards the second half of the season for y'all. And you had everything kind of dialed in, started up in the front, got around and just led pretty much this whole race. How was things out there for you getting back in the car after a small break?
Oh, it was amazing, especially coming back to Bristol. Bristol's one of my favorite tracks. And early on, getting going, I figured if I could get out lead early on that I could control the pace. But Mike, man, he's fast. Like, he kept pushing me. And then, it was just a blast.
Well, it's always good to watch you guys out here and put on a great show. Obviously, a little rough there in the beginning, but anybody that's raced Bristol will know how fast things can kind of show up in front of you as you round the corner, and especially at the speeds, especially that these Gen 6 cars can go. But you guys walk away out of here, just putting on a fantastic show, 150 laps, getting back in the seat here. So just want to say congratulations, man, for putting on a show out there from here in the Sierra booth and everybody else everybody's out there that was watching. But, kind of give you some time for any shouts you might have for it. Let you get out of here, though.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to shout out to Racing Network for the broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. I'd like to shout out to 191 Motorsports Racing League. It's a fantastic league for anybody that's looking for one. Shout out to my fiance, Courtney, my kids, Nick, Lola, and Eli. And shout out to Mike Casey for a great job, for pushing me pretty hard there. He definitely didn't let me lay off. And for Billy had a great lap. He was running really well there. And all the fans that watch, and yeah, everybody else. Thank you.
Really appreciate you and the shout outs. And again, congratulations on the victory here tonight at Bristol, but we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
As your winner here tonight, the 91 of Levi Poland, fourth win on the season. And Jimmy, taking a look at the results here so far this season, I'm starting to see a bit of a trend that I'm sure the rest of these drivers in 191 may not want to hear, but Levi Poland won race number 2. Then it took him 4 races, to win his next one. He won race number 6 at Dover. Then it took him 3 races till he won at Kansas. Now it's taken him 2 races to win at Bristol. So are we maybe calling an early back-to-back here for Levi Poland, since, I mean, the trend is not looking good for the rest of these drivers. This 91 has had the points lead for pretty much all this season, but it seems like, if anything, he's starting to get hotter and hotter.
I mean, now that you put it out there, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I think the 91's just been cursed by Carl Hamwick, and everybody else should give Carl a great big bonus or something. But no, the 91's obviously a tough competitor. You know, I don't know the drivers, through and through, but I do know that Levi Poland continues to come out each and every week. And like Michael Casey is saying, Mike's iRating is almost mirrors Levi Poland's, but when you're out there and you're the fastest guy on the track, sometimes you don't have the push to kind of get in the rig and do more practice, and you end up losing some of your skills. And Mike Casey might just need that to get in that car and find that extra 10th a lap or whatever it may take, or the better consistency in order to get around Levi and come away the victor. Or, and same thing with Billy. Obviously keeps trying each and every week, trying to get out there. Obviously has the that speed to get on the pole and be there. Now it's just finding that consistent speed to, get out front and then be able to kind of walk away with it without burning up your stuff. And that's the kind of fine line, I think, where I was at before I quit oval racing. But definitely Billy has the what it takes to get up there. Now it's just that fine line of being able to save his stuff for the end, outside of the sprint margin of a race. But great run here by all the drivers. Obviously, always fun to see all the fans come back out and cheer on everybody. So I appreciate everybody for being there here for your fans, or for the drivers, and here for CRN. So again, thank you.
Hopefully we can kick the rust off ourselves here in just about an hour, as we'll finally be hitting back to the track for the Core Premier Series. But I mean, you look at the standings after this race. It's a 15-point lead for Levi Poland over Mike Casey. But I mean, you look at their stats for the season, short of wins, it's pretty much exactly the same. And if anything, you would look at it and think, okay, well, Mike Casey should be your points leader. Is that both they're averaging 5th place for their average start. Levi Poland average finish is 5th. Michael Casey average finish is 3rd. So Casey's averaging a better finish. They both have the same amount of bonus points, but it's those wins that Levi Poland keeps racking up. That is why he's got the lead here so far. Michael Casey's still sitting on 2 wins. We'll see if Levi Poland can get number 5 next week, or maybe somebody else can finally knock down that 91 and take it home and get their first win. As we're going to get some throwback paint schemes next week. Certainly, Levi Poland doesn't need to change anything. He's already at throwback country time number 91 on there, but we'll see what the other drivers bring out there. You're going to have to tune in next week for that. But this is just race number 1 here for myself and Jimmy, as we're fully back in action here in 2026. Tomorrow night, we head to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Hold Your Brakes Academy. presented by PinoutsForVets.com. Then we're going to stay at Charlotte to just get some hotel rooms to stay the night. We finally don't have to fly anywhere, as we're going to stay there for Tuesday as the Core Xfinity presented by SimRaces.com is going to kick off their season at Charlotte as well. Then CSRL kicks off their season at Imola on Wednesday nights, followed by right back here at Bristol for the Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. And then finally on Thursday, we have the Virtual Velocity Racing Xfinity Series. I got to get that logo updated there, but they're going to kick it off at Auto Club. So a lot of racing left here in this week. Make sure you tune in here to CRN, and if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that we have to offer. But for myself and Jimmy from the Bristol Motor Speedway, we'll see you at the track.